Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are starting third canto in our Srimad Bhagavatam study, and today we are going to read in the first chapter Vidra's questions. The third canto is titled as Status Quo, and today's verses are first chapter 1 and 2. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'll share my screen, Maharaj, with the verse
Glories to Prabhupada.
coming up.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Sukha Uvacha Eva Mekta Pura Pristo Maitreyo Bhagavan Kila Shatravanam Pavistena Takla Swagriham Riddhimat. Sukadev Goswami said, after renouncing his prosperous home and entering the forest, King Vidura, the great devotee, asked this question of His Grace Maitreya Rishi. Yavat ayam matro kridvo bhagavan akileshvaraha paravendra griham hitva pravivesat masat What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandavas? Sri Krishna, the Lord of everything, acted as your minister. He used to enter that house as if it was his own, and he did not take any care of Duryodhana's house. Purport. According to Gaudiya Achintya Vedaveda Tattva philosophy, anything which satisfies the senses of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is also Sri Krishna. For example, Sri Vrindavan Dham is non-different from Sri Krishna, Tad Dharma Vrindavanam. Because at Vrindavan the Lord enjoys the transcendental bliss of his internal potency. Similarly, the house of the Pandavas was also the source of transcendental bliss for the Lord. It is mentioned here that the Lord identified the house with his own self. Thus, the house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan, and Vidura should not have given up that place of transcendental bliss. Therefore, the reason for his quitting the house was not exactly family misunderstanding. Rather, Vidura took the opportunity to meet Rishi Maitreya and discuss transcendental knowledge. For a saintly person like Vidura, any disturbance due to worldly affairs is insignificant. Such disturbances, however, are sometimes favorable for higher realization. And therefore, Vidura took advantage of a family misunderstanding in order to meet Maitreya Rishi. Umagyantimirandasya Ganarjana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Staptitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadammayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya De Sutarine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhescha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gauda Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hmm. So when Vidura was insulted by Dhritarashtra, or I believe it was Dhritarashtra or by Duryodhana, yeah. And so he took that as an opportunity to leave, not because of the misunderstanding, but because of the opportunity to meet Maitreya Rishi. Vidura is a great personality. He's actually Yamaraj, who has come in this particular pastime. The story of how Vidura took birth during this time as Yamaraj, because Yamaraj is one of the Mahajans, Mahajano Yena Kadasa Panta. He teaches the path of transcendental knowledge. There was a story where um, one particular rishi, I think, can't remember the name of the rishi, but Manuka, yeah, Manuka Rishi, he was, there were some thieves that were operating in the area. So they, in order to hide, they went to the ashram of Manuka and they hid there. And the police came and arrested everyone, to include of Manuka Rishi. And then, of course, this rishi was later on pronounced by the king to, let me see if I get this story right, um, die by being pierced with this very horrible form of torture where they sit you on top of a spear and it comes from your anus all the way up through your head and you die a very horrible death. So Rishi was thinking, what is this? Why am I being punished like this? And so later on, the king found out that the Rishi was innocent and didn't do anything. And then the Rishi, Manuka Rishi, was wondering, why was this type of punishment pronounced upon me, even though it didn't happen? The king, at the last minute, got some information that it wasn't him that was involved. And so he let him go. So this Rishi, he wanted to find out. And so he went to Yamaraj to find out, why am I being punished? Why was I almost subjected to this horrible punishment? And the Rishi, Yamaraj said, actually, when you were a little boy, you were playing with an ant and you had a needle and you poke the needle in the anus of this ant and it died. So Manuka Rishi was thinking, for a little activity of an innocent boy, I'm getting this horrible punishment coming upon me. So he got angry at Yamaraj, saying, you don't know what you're doing. And therefore I curse you to take birth as a Sudra. Now, at the same time, Yamaraj was thinking, I would like to have the opportunity to go preach, because Yamaraj has this not so nice service where he has to punish the conditioned souls for their sinful activity. So he wanted to break from that and go out and do some preaching, because he's a great soul. So Krishna fulfilled desires in the form of a curse, and he took birth as Vidura, who was actually the brother of Dhritarashtra, the younger brother. And you'll find out more from this third canto about the relationship between them. So now, here, it's interesting to see, as Prabhupada makes this point, and this is also something we've seen from the life of Vidura, from the life of Yamaraj, that sometimes reverses in life are actually opportunities for higher realizations. For a devotee who is dedicated to devotional service, everything is favorable. Nothing is unfavorable. Because the Lord arranges sometimes for his devotee to be put into difficult situations for a higher purpose or for a glorification of that personality to show his outstanding qualities. So in this case, we saw that with Srila Prabhupada, how he was put into so many difficult situations, sincerely trying to spread Krishna consciousness. And he had so many heart attacks. He was attacked by a drug-induced hippie. He had his stuff stolen. He had so many difficulties trying to bring Krishna consciousness in the world, especially with the people who came to him who were third class at best. But Prabhupada never gave up, although sometimes it became very overwhelming that he was actually thinking maybe I should go back to India. But he never did. And he also said, I had to walk through fire in order to spread this movement. I didn't look left, I didn't look right. I looked only straight ahead. So for a great soul, difficulties are actually greater opportunities for spreading Krishna consciousness. And also, the Lord arranges it just to show how dedicated his pure devotees are, that they're not so much moved by happiness and distress. They accept these things as the opportunities or the mercy of the Lord to preach Krishna consciousness or to practice devotional service. In either case, there's nothing inauspicious for a devotee who is sincere. One who is not sincere, one who's still trying to gain some material benefits from devotional service, can never get that same mercy. Their difficulties in devotional service is simply due to their attachments to material life or their attempts to try to enjoy material life while they're trying to engage in devotional service. But for one who is free from all personal motivation, then everything is an opportunity for some advancement, some knowledge, some detachment, or something that will be beneficial for others. And this is the nature of a great soul. So Vidura, he was really vilified, criticized by Duryodhana, and it seems like he was disturbed by that and left the house, the family house. But he could have dealt with that, but he didn't want, he thought this is an opportunity. And he went traveling. You'll see how he went traveling, finally to meet Maitreya Rishi and hear from Maitreya Rishi the process of pure devotional service. Well, this is the nature of a great soul. They do not see anything inauspicious in the path of devotional service. Of course, if they see something happen to someone else that's inauspicious, they may take action to try to correct it or stop it. But for themselves, they understand nothing is inauspicious. Yeah. Sometimes devotees come down with diseases that are very severe, and sometimes they're life-threatening, but they see it as an opportunity to detach themselves from everything material and prepare themselves to go home, back to Godhead. Keeping their consciousness on the goal of life, not so much being either elated by happiness or disturbed by distress. They simply continue on. They're one-pointed. Ekavratra. Ekavrata means one-pointed. When Duryodhana, no, I'm sorry, not Duryodhana, but when Dronacharya was teaching the Pandavas, Bhim, Yudhisthira, and Arjun archery, he set up a little competition or some test. He put a clay bird high up in a tree, and then he called Yudhisthira to come back and stand in this one place, look up in the tree, and so he called Yudhisthira, stand there, pull back your bow, look up in the tree. Do you see the bird? Yes. Do you see the tree? Yes. Do you see the sky? Yes. Sit down. Then he called Bhim, stand here, look, pull back your bow, look up in the tree. Do you see the bird? Yes. Do you see the tree? Yes. Do you see the sky? Yes. No. Yes. Well, sit down. Then he called his best student, Arjun. Come, stand here, look up in the tree, pull your bow back. Do you see the bird? No. Do you see the tree? No. Do you see the sky? No. What do you see? I see the eye of the bird. Shoot. So a devotee's goal is pure devotional service, or to please Krishna in all activities of devotional service, and ultimately to qualify themselves to go back home, back to the spiritual world. So when you keep the goal in mind, then everything that is happening before then leads to the goal. When you don't have any goal, then you can't understand why things are happening the way they're happening. The goal is, in Krishna consciousness, is prema pumarta mahan, to develop our love for the Supreme Lord. Or we also have the goal of doing everything as a service for the Supreme Lord with a desire to please the Lord. So a devotee is not bewildered by material situations. They know that all of these things are due to the movement of the material energy, or in some cases, it's simply Krishna's arrangement for their purification or for their advancement in spiritual life, or to give the world an opportunity to see the greatness of these people, these persons. So that's devotional service. It's not easy to think like that, because when we're in the difficult situations, immediately we start identifying with the situations and we start becoming overwhelmed. But a devotee doesn't become overwhelmed. They sometimes they ask, well, Krishna, why did you put me in this situation? And Krishna will give them the answer in one way or another. And then they accept that answer and use it as an opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness. So Vidura, he's a great personality. He's Yamaraj. He's always been a well-wisher of his brother, Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was blind. He was blind in two ways. He was blind to the actual goal of life, and he was also blind physically. And although he was apparently against the Pandavas, and Vidura was in favor of the Pandavas, of course, Vidura never gave up on his brother, and he did everything to enlighten his brother in devotional service, which was, the Dhritarashtra was never receptive to what anything he did. But you'll see as this particular canto goes on, how Vidura is successful in ultimately in reaching his brother and actually saved him so he could actually attain liberation. He didn't go back home, back to Godhead, but he got liberation. The reason why he didn't go back to Godhead is because he offended the Pandavas. And that offense against the Pandavas caused him not to achieve the perfection of life. But he did get liberation, as you'll see later on in this particular canto. But the main part here is that anything that satisfied the senses of the Lord is as good as the Lord. Here, the example is given that the house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan. Why? Because the Lord was completely satisfied in that house, because he was in the house of his pure devotees who gave everything for his service. Pandavas were another example of being put into so many difficult situations, but never giving up on their moral and religious principles. They stayed fixed. They didn't bridge Dharma just because they were cheated, vilified, and attempted to be killed in so many ways. They stayed dharmic in their activities. They didn't try to retaliate. And because of that, Krishna protected them through all of the different situations. And the Pandavas became very dear to the Lord, so much so that Yudhisthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, was given the position of king of the world. Okay, so again, stop there and see if there's any questions on this particular subject matter here. There's a few points that have been illustrated in this verse.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful explanation of these verses. Thank you. Dear devotees, please turn on your cameras if possible, and you can raise your hand if you have any questions or comments or realizations. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Very much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very much. So, Dhritarashtra, you said he offended the Pandavas, offended the Vaishnavas. We're full of faults, and we're always making mistakes. Sometimes we say the wrong things, we act in the wrong way. We may not do anything really, really bad, but in a small way, we might like upset people in a minor way, upset Vaishnavas in a minor way. And Vaishnavas are always very merciful, and they say, no, 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 you definitely 100% never offended me. They will always say that. So how do we know what counts as an offense? How do we know if we've committed an offense?
What's an offense to a Vaishnava?
Yes.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur lists 6 ways you can offend a Vaishnava. And gives very specific statements about what is actually an offense. And he explains it from most severe to least severe. And the most severe is to kill a Vaishnava. Second is to blaspheme a Vaishnava. Less severe is to be envious of a Vaishnava. Less than that is to be angry with towards a Vaishnava. Less than that is to fail to give respects to a Vaishnava. And less than that is not to be happy when you see a Vaishnava. So these are the 6 ways. I don't think there's anything outside of these 6 as given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's accepted as absolute. So you can see which one, if we disrespect the Vaishnava, that's also offense. if we fail to feel happy when we see a Vaishnava, we can immediately counteract the reaction to that by offering obeisances. And if you do, then automatically there's no offense.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Can
Yeah,
I
so
ask?
these 6 ways, yeah.
Can I ask what exactly is a Vaishnava? Who qualifies as a Vaishnava?
Very good question. Vaishnava means one who is engaged in service of the Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Lord Chaitanya really stretched the definition when he was talking about one person, let's see, from Kulinagram, which is a village not far from Mayapur. And Satyaraj Khan and Gunaraj Khan. One was father, one was son. Gunaraj Khan, I think, was the father, and Satyaraj Khan was the son. So Satyaraj Khan asked Lord Chaitanya, what actually is a devotee? What actually is a Vaishnava? And Lord Chaitanya said, anyone who once chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I consider him a Vaishnava. So you might say that's a real liberal definition. But that's what Lord Chaitanya said. He's very merciful. So the idea, but you can also offend the non-devotees too by being disrespectful to non-devotees. That's also an offense. Because Krishna is in the heart of all living entities. And therefore, if you disrespect or offend even the non-devotees, there is a reaction. Therefore, when it comes to behavior, it says a devotee is a perfect gentleman, gentle lady, which means they give respects to all, regardless. They may not always associate with everyone, and some people are not respectable, so that they don't deserve respect, but a devotee sees that in the hearts of all living entities, Krishna sits. So they respect Krishna within the heart of that living entity. And that respect can be given in the mind too. It doesn't mean you have to pay obeisances to everyone you see, but one should behave nice, properly. And what is that behavior? As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, somehow I live happily in this world because I give respects to everyone. I mean, treat everyone in what we say, like you would like to be treated also. That's one of the qualities of an intelligent person. Sometimes they say, what are the principles of knowledge? What is actually knowledge? And there's 3 principles of knowledge. One is to see all women except your own wife as mother, to see all other persons' property as garbage in the street. That means you don't touch it, don't take it, don't use it. And third is they say the golden rule, do unto others as if you would have them do unto you. So if I pinch you, I don't want to be pinched by you, but why should I pinch you? So I wouldn't do anything towards you that I wouldn't like have done to myself also. So that's what it means, really, to respect others.
Well, thank you very much, Guru Raj.
Thank you, Maharaj, for such a detailed answer. Thank you so much. So even I was thinking like Vidura, he took this opportunity, even he was offended, and he took this opportunity to go to the pilgrimage and know more about the Shastras and everything. So it was a wonderful opportunity. But so how we can do like that? Can we how we can implement that type of mood in our devotional life, Maharaj? Like, is it possible at all?
Yeah. Why isn't it possible?
Yeah.
One who sees me and everything in me, I'm never ever lost, nor is that person ever lost in me. Try to see Krishna within everything. When Prabhupada was in his house during World War II, when they were bombing the British quarter and the bombs were coming, Prabhupada was seeing the bomb as being Krishna.
Hmm.
You can't see that way, but a pure devotee can see everything in relationship to Krishna and not outside. Because the pure devotee knows nothing can happen without the will of Krishna. Either by his permissive will, which he means allows things to happen, or his direct will, where he wants things to happen. But everything falls into those two categories. Krishna either allows things to happen or he wants things to happen. When we're dealing with the material energy, he allows the material energy to act according to how it is designed to act. When he in his direct will, is then he wants his devotees to do certain things and act in certain ways. That is under the Daivi Shakti, or the spiritual energy. So usually his permissive will is connected with the external energy.
Hmm.
And his direct will is connected with the spiritual energy. But in both cases, he is the author of both.
Hmm. So whatever Krishna desires, that happens. And
Yeah, but if you break the laws of material energy and you get a reaction for that,
mm,
then you can't blame Krishna because it's your fault. If you if you contract some disease and you say, well, why is Krishna giving me this disease? He's not. He's telling you how you should learn how to behave so you can avoid getting sick. But since you got sick, that was your doing. And the material energy reacts according to how you perform your activity. And that's his energy. So he allows the material energy to work in such a way. So you can't flaunt the material energy and think, well, Krishna will save me.
mm,
Don't try that. That's ludicrous.
yes, yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. Dear devotees, any more questions? You can raise your hand. And we have questions by Bhavya Prabhu. He is asking, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. I am at the railway station and it's extremely noisy, so I can't turn on my mic. I have 3 questions regarding today's lecture. Question 1. When Rishi Mandavya gave curse to Dharmaraj or Yamaraj, and that Yamaraj became Vidura, who then was fulfilling the duties of Yamaraj? Was there a new Yamaraj, or did Yamaraj expanded himself in the form of Vidura and fulfilled his duties and curse simultaneously?
No, somebody took his position. That's mentioned somewhere, but I don't remember because his position cannot be vacated. It has to be continuous. And so just like one time Indra committed an offense and he lost his position in the heavenly planets, and another demigod called Nahusha. He took Indra's position and took over the heavenly planets while Indra was undergoing some punishment. So yeah, the position wasn't vacated, that's for sure.
Okay. So his second question is Rishi Mandavya a Brahman realized soul, a Paramatma realized soul, or an actual Vaishnava?
He was a Muni. He was a thinker, great Muni.
So he has that much power, Gurmash, like to give curse to Yamaraj?
Yamaraj could have counteracted the curse, but he didn't. He took it as an opportunity to come to the material world to preach. Just like Shamak Rish, when Shringi cursed Maharaj Parikshit to die, Maharaj Parikshit had the power to counteract it, but he didn't. He took it an opportunity to finish his business in the material world and go back home, back to Godhead. Same. Yamaraj wanted an opportunity to preach, and so he saw this as the opportunity.
Yes, Maharaj. He has a third question. Did Vidura remember that he himself was Yamaraj in his past life?
Doesn't say anywhere about that, but you can't say yes and you can't say no. We don't know. You can ask Vidura directly what he says. It doesn't mention anything about him reflecting on his position as the Lord of Death, Who's asking these questions again?
Bhavya Prabhu.
Bhavya. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And last one about Vidura. Was Vidura a Nitya Siddha or Sadhana Siddha?
Was Vidura was what?
Nitya Siddha or Sadhana Siddha?
He's a Mahajan. He's an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord who has the service to. He's in, it doesn't say anything. But he's a Mahajan. There's only 12 Mahajans that existed. I mean, that's a very rare position. That means he teaches religious principles. Mahajano yena katasapantat. One has to follow the footsteps of the Mahajans. Otherwise, one cannot execute true religious principles.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
So, all about Yamaraj himself as being a Mahajan.
Yes, Maharaj.
He has that service. Is the devotees. The devotees don't come into, they don't see.
Yeah. Your voice is cutting off, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. He dropped off from the call.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Maybe internet issue, Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhavya Prabhu, for such a nice question. Hare Krishna Maharaj. I see Maharaj online, but he's muted and. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
We lost you for 2 minutes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So the question is the sadhana creep. Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm speaking to you.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. Now I can hear you. Previously, it was like you dropped off from the call for 2 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm a Mahajan, right? So
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Anjali Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
obviously
All
is in
praise to Srila.
1 second. Sorry. Maharaj, sorry, we are not able to hear you. There is a lag and voice cutting up. Or now I think it's okay. Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, in the purport, it is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada that anything which satisfies Krishna's senses is Krishna himself. Is this true also for the devotional service, as if the devotees perform the devotional service and if it really satisfies Krishna, that devotional service is also Krishna himself? Am I audible, right, Mataji?
Yes,
Krishna
Maharaj.
is none different than devotional service. But
Maharaj, can you switch off your camera so that we can hear you properly, Maharaj? If it's
we're gonna go
possible.
off again.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj.
Anything that satisfies Krishna is any devotional service is non different than Krishna. It's his internal. If you see go to the go to the purport again. The
Yes.
answer is
Yes, Maharaj.
in the purport.
Yes, Maharaj. Are you able to see?
Really unstable.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Maharaj, we see Maharaj online, but I think it's very bad internet today.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj, yeah.
So Anjali, what does that first line say in the purport?
According to the Tattva, senses of Supreme Lord Krishna, Shri
What is
Krishna,
that? What is that? What is that? What is that philosophy?
God is the
Mataji, your voice is breaking now.
Achintya Beta Beta
Am I
Tak.
Mataji?
Chintya Beta Beta Tattva.
I don't know about.
Do you know what a Chintya Beta Beta Tattva means? Her internet is just as bad as mine.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, she's also cutting off. She said she
Am I
doesn't know
audible?
about. Yeah, now you're Mataji. You can switch off your camera.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know Maharaj about it.
Chintya Beta Beta
Please
Tattva
explain me.
means simultaneously one with and different from. So anything that's one with or different from Krishna is also Krishna. So
Okay.
devotional service is non-different than Krishna. Therefore, one who does devotional service is under the internal energy of Krishna, which is non-different than Krishna, but at the same time, different than Krishna. You have to understand philosophy, one with and different from, simultaneously.
Yes, Maharaj. We also read the same thing in the Chatushlok. We also explained.
Yeah, I read it. Okay, so we have a question from Shakshi here. Shakshi, ask your question. Nice and loud. Scream.
The giving class today. So Vidura, irrespective of getting humiliated by Dhritarashtra, uh, he showed him the path to self-realization. So we being a devotee, sometimes we take things in heart. I mean, we take things to heart and we find it difficult to forgive others. So how do we cultivate such more?
You can't use excuses for not doing the right thing. If you can't forgive others, then that's your problem. You have to forgive. If you can't forgive, then forgive. Learn how to forgive. The answer is do what you're supposed to do. If you want to make progress, you have to develop certain qualities and characteristics. If you hold grudges or have negative attitudes towards others, how can you practice devotional service? Get rid of those negativities. Chant, read, associate, and live according to Vaishnav culture, Vaishnav principles. When you go to school, you have to follow certain rules and regulations that are made up in the institution. You can't bring in your own rules and regulations into the institution and say, well, the institution is not supporting me. Yeah, because you're not following. That's why. So if you don't follow the principles or develop the qualities, then you won't get the benefit of your devotional life. Whatever you do will get very little results. If you're hungry, eat. You can't say, I'm hungry. What should I do? I'll eat. Hmm?
We have to cultivate the
Yeah,
support of
there's principles that govern the activities of a Vaishnava. If you have to adopt those principles, and if you can't adopt them, then if you have a difficult time adopting them, then look for opportunities, such as associating with devotees who have those qualities, reading the books, stop doing the wrong thing. You can't, devotional service is not going to be handed to you. You have to work for it. It's just like when you go to school, you can't say, well, you know, I enrolled in the university. I'll just sit home and wait till they send me my degree. No, you gotta you gotta go to the classes. You gotta take the tests. You gotta pass the exams. Emotional service is proactive. It's something you have to do. Learn it. Learn what it means to be a devotee.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We have few more questions on chat, Maharaj. So Kajal Mataji is asking, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, when a devotee experiences emotional reversals with another devotee, how can we understand whether it is Krishna redirecting us or Krishna purifying us?
Doesn't matter. It's if you're drowning and you're trying to say why before I get saved, I want to know how I got here. Then you'll drown. Don't worry about how it happens. It's happening. Deal with it accordingly. And then you deal with it the same way in any case. Whatever way it comes, still the way you deal with it is the same. So how you deal with it is deal with the situation accordingly. When if it's emotions, then reverse the emotions. Or learn how to play how to forgive. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's asking the same.
Yeah. So there's a solution to everything. You just have to adopt it. That's all. How it comes doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It came. Now you deal with it.
Yes, Maharaj.
If you try to search out the cause, you'll never get the solution.
Mm.
Work with the solutions. That's all. Right, Bhagavan?
Ah, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to you. Yes, yes, Maharaj.
Okay, just checking.
Yes. May I ask a question, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Absolutely. Yes. Hare
You're,
Krishna.
you're, you're BCD. Where's the A?
Yes.
ABCD.
ABCD, right, right. Yeah.
We call you always Bhagavan Chaitanya Das.
Yes, because yeah, the other thing is American born, and that can be considered a little weird. Yeah. Yeah.
American Bhagavan.
Confused, right? But it's not really an insult because American born confused, it simply means they don't find their natural grounding. They're confused about between two cultures, diasporas.
If you
So
want to be
Maharaj,
good, you want to be a good materialist, get born in America.
yeah, you get a little boost there, and you get a little material boost here, I guess. Yeah.
You want to be a good spiritualist, get born in India.
Yes, the opportunities are more, definitely, Maharaj. But that is changing, Maharaj. It's sad to see that they're mostly very, very attracted to material stuff everywhere.
Yeah, that's chill. Yeah, but the culture is still alive here. Don't worry.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, my question is, we do the regulative principles and then we do devotional service in certain ways. We do what I call the price of admission, which is at least 16 rounds of japa. And then we associate with devotees. We go to the temple, we do, a little maybe aradhana of our deities. We offer boga to them. We do all these things in an attempt at devotional service. I find all of them very, very engrossing and exciting, except japa, which can get pretty, um, it's not as exciting. Sometimes it feels like a chore. So will that get better with time, or is that just a temporary phase? As you become a better Vaishwa, that gets better, or should I be putting more effort into that?
Well, to cultivate quality japa is the focus of a devotee. Every day tries to work on perfecting their japa or improving their japa. But one of the things that will make it difficult for you to improve is to have a negative attitude towards japa when you start chanting. That will make it hard for you to improve.
Mm.
So you should think like this. I want to chant. I get to chant. I love to chant.
Mm.
Say that mantra every day before you start.
Wonderful.
I get to chant.
I get
I
to
want
chant.
to chant,
I want to chant. Love to chant.
yeah, that's a nice mantra. You
Yes.
create a positive affirmation in your consciousness, which will help you to overcome these difficulties that you encounter in your bhakti. And Krishna will see that, oh, they love to chant, although they're struggling still. And
Yeah.
Krishna will give his mercy. But if we're thinking, oh, it's so difficult, it's like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro with a backpack, so then
Yeah.
it'll be like that.
Yes, yes. The first part of that is very powerful. I get to chant. I get to chant means I'm embodied. I'm able to use my words and say them out loud, because there are plenty of beings that don't have that opportunity. Yeah.
When you say I get to chant, that means you're being grateful for the opportunity.
Yes. Yes.
And because I'm grateful, I like it. And because I like it, I love it.
Yes. That's a great idea, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Great instruction, and I will definitely follow it. Thank you so
I,
much.
I can suggest a particular book. It's called Japa Affirmations by Mahatma Das Prabhu, he's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
It's a small little book, and it has affirmations is a statement of positivity
Mhm.
that I will do this, although you haven't done it yet. Still, you make the affirmation that it will happen because of my focus on it, my
Yes.
determination to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you keep that attitude in devotional service, you'll always be effective. You always make progress.
Yes. Yes. This is it's great, Maharaj. And also a funny story. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, before I was not a big believer in affirmations, because there are people who will sit and go, "I am loved." I'm like, "No, you're not." It's like it's just because you say that. But the point is, yes, it may come to you by affirmations, and now I know better. I know that affirmations are sankalpas that you're telling yourself that you will
Yeah,
do, and Krishna is listening. Yeah.
they work to some degree in the material world, but they work 100% in the spiritual realm.
Wonderful, Maharaj.
Yeah. If they're in line with the process of bhakti. In other words, if they're not going against religious principles, they work.
Thank
I
you, Maharaj.
will definitely do that. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
So this is the
Hare
book.
Krishna.
This is the Japa Affirmations book.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you,
It's
Maharaj.
really
Yeah.
it's a book you can put in your top pocket in your shirt and carry around with you.
It's one of those little pocketbooks, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you. Thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Parijata Mataji, please go ahead.
You have a question from Parijata?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and you. So I have two questions. The first one is like follow-up question from what Srimati Mataji asked about Sri Vidura, and wonderful thing we have read about him today. So my question is, why didn't Vidura consider family conflict a serious problem, like unlike most people? And how does Vidura's example help devotees handle misunderstandings and discomfort within their own family and community? This is my first question.
Well, the thing is, Vidura had tried. I mean, his whole life he was trying to help his brother, but he wasn't getting any benefit from it. And now he was seen simply as a disturbance. He was the sadhu of the whole family. He was always speaking based on religious principles, on the benefit of others. He was the well-wisher of his brother, although he knew his brother was completely wrong, going against the Pandavas. Still, he still had love for him. But so that's pretty much the answer to your first question, in the sense that he tried, but at one point he decided, well, now I'm going to go out on pilgrimage and do a little meeting of some great soul. So when the opportunity came that he was practically thrown out of the house by Duryodhana, then he took that as an opportunity. But it's not that he didn't try beforehand. And then later on, when he came back, he tried again. And when he came back and tried again, he was successful. That'll
So
be
how do we
that
handle the situation, and what do we learn from him? What do we do? Because I have something similar going on.
that spiritual knowledge, spiritual edification is more important than anything. So he focused on that. We have so many opportunities to divert our attention to so many problems in this world. But if we focus on becoming Krishna conscious, then we can not only solve our own problems, but we can also help people in solving their problems also.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
That's the,
So I have
that's the, that's the way I would see it. That
okay.
Krishna consciousness cannot be put on hold.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. So thank you so much. I have another question. So what elements of Pandava's consciousness made their home suitable for the Lord's intimate participation, and what inner and outer transformations are needed to make a household spiritually vibrant, similar to Vrindavan?
Hmm. What about the Pandavas that was so righteous that the Lord actually considered their house to
Yes,
be? Yeah, let me see if I can read that for you.
thank you.
I have it in. Let me see here. Where is it? I'll read it so you can really understand it. Mhm. Hmm. Let's see here. It's called Brihaspati Niti, encourages chastity in all aspects of life. This serves as a powerful reminder to always act in accordance with moral codes and never compromise principles of Dharma. Throughout their lives, the Pandavas followed Brihaspati Niti, never once breaking Dharmic codes to exact revenge for wrongs done to them. They never once strayed from the rules of Dharma, not when they were on the verge of being burned alive in the Lac Palace, not when losing all their wealth to gambling, nor when being witness to their wife's public humiliation. They exercised self-control and stayed within the parameters of Brihaspati Dharma. They were righteous in all situations. They never gave up their dharmic principles simply because they were being cheated, and ultimately trying to be killed. That's called Brihaspati Niti. There's
Brihaspati Niti.
Kanika Niti and Supra Niti. These are different ways to act under situations.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
yeah, they were
Thanks a lot.
dharmic. They never gave up dharma, even though everything was turned against him. That's why Krishna favored them, because he's the principle of dharma also.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Mhm.
Maharaj, I think your internet is stable now. You can turn on your camera.
Yeah, I got some help from one gopi here. So.
Nice. Thank you, Maharaj.
Gopi, I have two gopis here. One's an old gopi and one's a young gopi.
Yes, Maharaj. Bhavya Prabhu, please go ahead. Thank you, Paradev.
So my room is actually Vrindavan here.
Jai.
The old gopi wants to ask a question. Can we let her ask a question?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, Bhavya Prabhu, I think you didn't have any question, just by mistake.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Tarat Pranam. I'm so sorry, there might be some noise. Maharaj, I had a question regarding Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva. Um, I have heard from some people that Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva is only applied between Krishna and Krishna's energies, like the Jiva Shakti or the Aladani, Samved, Sandhini, etc. So I had a doubt. Can Achintya Bhedabhed Vedanta can be applied even on these different incarnation, which is like the Vishnu Tattva incarnation specifically? Can Achintya Bhedabhed be applied on Vishnu Tattvas as well? Like, for example, we can say that Krishna has multiple incarnations and he has different leelas. So there is Bheda in the leelas as well. So can we apply Achintya Bhedabhed Vedanta over there as well? That's my question.
In the spiritual world, you can apply it to anything. In the material world, it's not a chintya. It's still beta beta tattva. Because it's conceivable in the material world, but inconceivable in the spiritual realm. So yeah, Krishna is non different than his incarnations. Therefore, there's no difference between the incarnation and Krishna, as there's no difference between the first candle and the other candles that is lit by the first candle. But the rest of the candles are not the first candle. The first candle is the source. They're all the same, but still they're different. On a material level, just like everybody's a human being, that's one aspect, but everyone is a different human being. So there's one indifference in humans also. But that's conceivable. But in the spiritual realm, it's not conceivable because we don't understand how Krishna can manifest himself in different forms of himself and still be himself. You can't explain it. It's just his transcendental nature, his supreme power. How he can be in the spiritual world and in the material world at the same time. There's no logic. That's why it's a chintya. Therefore, all you can do
Yes,
is accept it. You can accept it because it's coming from Shastra, it's coming from Guru, it's coming from Sadhu also. That Jiva Goswami gives the word achintya. And he says, otherwise, if you don't accept achintya, you can't understand. You will never be able to understand the absolute truth. But achintya is revealed through the process of devotional service. The devotee becomes qualified to understand these things that are inconceivable by the mercy of the Lord through the power of their devotional service. Because transcendental knowledge is revealed to the devotee both within the heart and through the avenues of transcendental knowledge, such as Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Does that make sense?
Prabhuji?
Yes, Maharaj, understood. And Maharaj, I just wanted to say that I'm coming to meet you tomorrow.
Hmm?
I wanted to say that I'm going to come to meet you tomorrow. I'm in the
Tomorrow?
train already.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big
Yes, Maharaj.
festival. Tomorrow,
Yes.
12 o'clock, there's an installation of a chakra on top of the temple. And at 12:15, there is my class in the temple at 12:15. So if you can make it by noon, then you'll be here for the program.
I'll be there in Ujjain early morning, Maharaj, around 4:30 morning.
Okay. I'll see you a little later in the day though, because the morning is,
Yes,
I
Maharaj.
have some things. I'll see you around noontime.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Well, if you come to the temple for the morning program, I might see you in Mangalarti if you come. I don't know.
I think he's in the train.
Okay, we got
Yes,
so we got
yes, Guru Maharaj. Yes, Guru Maharaj. So sorry. There was a disturbance. So sorry.
Yeah.
okay.
Maharaj,
Sri Devi has a question.
sure, Maharaj.
She's going to burn down my room if she hasn't asked a question. So
Again and again, or glories to Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, I'm a little bit puzzled about why Vidur is described as family misunderstanding in the house of Pandavas when he was actually insulted in the house of the Kauravas. In front of Dhritarashtra, in front of all the Kauravas, Duryodhan insulted him, and it is said that he left that place immediately. So why is it described here that he left the house of the Pandavas?
does it say that?
Yeah, it says, well, it doesn't say like that. It says he should not have left the house of the Pandavas, which was as good as because it was a place of transcendental bliss. Therefore, the reason for his quitting was not exactly family misunderstanding. Rather, he took the opportunity to meet Rishi Maitreya and discuss transcendental knowledge.
They were all living in one palace. They had many rooms in the same palace. Mhm. So the house of the Kauravas and the Pandavas were practically the same. It was a palace. It wasn't just a house.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We have a question on chat by Himaganga Mataji. She is asking Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, when Suruchi offended Dhruva Maharaj, he is not Vaishnava, but she got severe punishment. So anybody can become a Vaishnava in future. So if we offend non-devotees, do we get severe punishments?
Um, well, it says that what was it? Our son went into the woods and then she went after him and there was a fire and she burned in the fire.
Mm.
But the thing is, here's the point, that if you offend a devotee who's not a pure devotee, that's one thing. But if that devotee becomes a pure devotee, then that offense becomes greater. So that's why you should never offend anybody, because they might become a pure devotee later. Then you are in trouble. Then the offense is even greater. Ananda Sagar, are you still there?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Did he leave? Yeah, I think he left.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, do not pronounce Jai. Yes, Maharaj.
Did your husband get that book that I recommended?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, that was the question. That's all.
It is ebook, Maharaj.
Oh, got it in an ebook.
Yes.
Well, that's okay. They also are available in hardcover.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yeah, start on page 129.
Yes, Maharaj. We'll read.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, any more questions or comments?
We have a question from Shakshi.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
What causes one to commit offenses?
What causes one to commit offenses? Ignorance, habit, being controlled by habit, and being not aware of how one should act or behave, ignorance. But ignorance is not an excuse. You still get a reaction, even if you act wrongly because you're ignorant. So ignorance, that's why we need to hear and understand what to accept and what to avoid. Devotees are expert in knowing what to accept, but they don't know what to avoid. So that we have to understand those both principles side by side.
Nectar of Devotion to read. Nectar of Devotion book you recommended me to read. So that contains all the do's and don'ts of what.
She's asking about the Nectar Devotion. Nectar Devotion is the science or handbook by which one follows in order to execute devotional service. So the offenses are mentioned in there. There's a whole chapter on offenses. Mhm. Mhm. Bhavya, are you on the train?
Yes, yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
You have a question, Prabhu?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I had a question. I'm so sorry, I had already asked in the comment section, but due to some voice, it was so noisy here, I couldn't hear what you said. I mean, 30 minutes back. So I want to ask the question again. Maharaj, uh, as you were talking about Mandavya Muni or Rishi, so is that uh, personality like Brahman realized or Paramatma realized or it's Bhagwan realized? Means is that a Vaishnava?
You mentioned the three categories of realization. So what's the question in relationship to that
Like
again?
I'm asking like which realization did Mandavya Muni had? The Bhagwan realization, Paramatma realization, or the Brahman realization?
Oh, that the Muni
Yeah.
doesn't say.
Yes, yes, Maharaj.
It says he's a great Muni, that's all. Muni is a spiritual thinker. I don't know, he could be a Brahmanandi.
So Guru Maharaj, do this Brahmanandi who are not completely Krishna conscious, but do they see the Vedic mantras? Means like rishis are known as mantra drashtas, means they see the Vedic mantras, right? So one has to be so enlightened to actually get the Vedic mantras from.
One has to be enlightened to get the Vedic mantras from who?
Prabhuji, can you
He's
repeat?
asking something about enlightenment and receiving the Vedic mantras. I can't catch all of the words you're saying.
Guru Maharaj, so sorry, I didn't hear anything. So sorry.
Maharaj wants to understand the question again.
Okay. So what I was saying is, uh, rishis are called Krishnas. So my question is like, to be a mantra drashta, one has to be really realized. Okay. But what is the level of their realization? Is that just Brahman realization or like proper Bhagwan realization, like they have completely understood who is Krishna and they have become Vaishnavas? So I don't consider Brahman realized people as Vaishnavas at all because they just focus on the Brahma Jyoti or the formless Brahman. So they can't be considered as Vaishnavas. So can rishis
Yeah,
also be in that category?
they're gyanis. Those who have Brahman realization generally are gyanis.
And by time do they actually attain Krishna?
If they give up their bahunam jnanam amante jnanam amam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sadurlabha. After reaching the goal of gyan, if they actually surrender at that point, then their gyan turns into bhakti. Because they haven't surrendered, they're not in the category of bhakti.
Got it, Guru Maharaj. Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, I'd like a clarification on a point you made in the class today. You said nothing is inauspicious for a devotee. So does that mean that it's automatically auspicious? Everything is auspicious? Or is there a middle ground between auspicious and inauspicious?
Well, auspicious means that there is something good about whatever happens that can be used for one's personal development in Krishna consciousness. A devotee can take any situation and turn it into something positive. That's the whole thing.
Wow. That means we
Either
should
on a
be happy
personal
about
level or on
everything.
an extended level. I mean, somebody sometimes offends you. You can become more humble. So there, and you gain some humility by being offended. Or being criticized, I might say, not offended, but criticized. Yeah, a devotee tries to see Krishna in everything because for a devotee, Krishna is there. He's allowing it to happen or he wants it to happen. So there's something, you have to look for it. You have to be a little bit, what we say, reflective. You have to also pray. You have to try to understand. When Bhakti
So
Tirtha
easy.
Swami was leaving the world for melanoma cancer, I mean, he was dying of cancer. His body was racked with cancer. But when he was hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita read by Radhanath Swami, he was saying, there's nothing better than this. This is the highest. He was happy. So a lot of situations appear due to crises. And these situations move one closer to Krishna or bring one directly back to the spiritual world. That's why death for a devotee is not inauspicious.
So amazing, Guru Maharaj. Just by recalling that all the time. We should be happy about everything, even if we don't understand what it is, even
You
if
should
we
try
don't
to
understand.
You
Yes,
should try to not that you just
fantastic.
let it happen. Because if you don't try to understand it, how are you going to gain from it?
Mm.
Yeah, you should try to understand it. And the understanding is within your purview. Like, for instance, one of my god sisters, she was saying that she was chanting her japa, and this particular day, her japa wasn't at all good. Then she reflected, why is my japa so bad today? Well, I must have committed an offense. So she concluded that. And then she thought that way. And then the next day, someone called up and said, you offended this other person here. And then she got the answer for why her japa was not so good, because she unknowingly committed an offense. But then she was given the information about the offense. She rectified it, and then her japa was nice again. So when something obviously is not going right, then you start thinking, what am I doing wrong? Or why is it happening? Or what can I understand from this situation? Or are you going to just accept it as Krishna's mercy?
It's absolutely wonderful, Guru Maharaj. An analogy comes to mind. It's like Krishna is constantly giving us this stream of presents.
Yeah, there you go. Now you got it.
I love it.
He doesn't, anyone who's serving him, he's always with that person 24/7. He's never leaving you. You leave him, but he doesn't leave you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we can
Maharaj,
stop here.
yes, it's 1.5 hour, Maharaj. And we have one last question by Vrajajana Priya Mataji.
Who?
She's Vrajajana Priya, Vrajajana Priya Mataji.
Oh, okay.
She is asking, if I commit what I understand is an offense, but the devotee forgives me, what happens then? Do I have to pay for that offense?
There will be some reaction. The example is that you take a board and you put a nail into the board with a hammer. And then you pull out the nail. So you're back to square one. There's no nail in the board, but still there's a hole in the board. So there is some little, obviously some action. But if the person forgives you, then most of all of the reaction is, and if you're sincerely sorry for committing the offense, then practically there is no reaction. But if you're just looking for forgiveness and you get it, that's not enough. You have to be actually sorry that you committed that offense. And you also have to offer some service to that person, saying, what can I do for you? Is there some service for me? I'll catch you tomorrow, Bhavya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah,
have
thank
to
you.
stop here. It's getting a little late and I have to get to other activities here.
Yeah, sorry, we can ask your questions tomorrow, Parijata Mataji and Rasavilasni Mataji. Sorry about that. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class and nice discussion. Thank you, dear devotees. We'll meet you again tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Or Brahmanande, Hari 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 Bo, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Jai.